Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Trinidad and Tobago is close to UNAIDS 2020 target. This story takes the lead in our 999th edition of Caribbean Perspective for Thursday, 3rd December 2020. Details when we return. Welcome back. As the world observed World AIDS Day amid the COVID-19 pandemic and under the theme Global Solidarity and Shared Responsibility, the Ministry of Health in Trinidad and Tobago believes that the Twin Island Republic is close to meeting the UNAIDS 2020 global target. Alicia Boucher has the details from TV6's Morning Edition.
The Ministry of Health says there are around 11,000 people living with HIV in the country. In order to meet the UNAIDS 2020 target, it means 90% of people with the virus have to know their status, and 90% would be on antiretroviral treatment, and 90% would have viral suppression. While the Caribbean lags behind the global average and the world misses the target, Associate Program Director of the HIV and AIDS Coordinating Unit, Rima Lewis, says TNT is not too far off course.
So in all, we're almost there. We're almost to the 90s, right? We're at about 82, 79, and 83. So that means 83% of persons that are living with HIV are virally suppressed, so that they're on medication and we're able to help them control the virus and help them lead healthy and holistic lives.
But that number is still behind the 88% global average for viral suppression. The number of new infections globally and in TNT appears to be on the decline. However, Lewis admits that there is a gap in the data concerning persons who know their status in TNT.
So we need more persons to get tested. This year, as we are really focused on reaching that goal, we want to encourage persons to get tested so that we can accomplish that first 90%.
Lewis says although HIV has changed from a death sentence to a chronic illness that people are able to live with, there is still fear surrounding it, and in some cases, a willingness among persons to remain in ignorance.
But yes, I do think people still struggle with just walking into that health center to learn their status. We recognize that globally, men don't have the same health-seeking behaviors as women. So we want to encourage the men of Trinidad and Tobago to go out and get tested as well.
Lewis believes the same solidarity that is being given to treat with COVID-19 should be given to tackling HIV/AIDS.
When it comes to caring for people with HIV and bringing awareness, it's not just a singular activity. It is something that the nation needs solidarity in, that it's not just a Ministry of Health issue, that we need the private sector, we need all persons to join in solidarity.
She says protection, abstinence, and being faithful to one's sexual partner remain vital elements in preventing the spread of HIV. The Ministry of Health is optimistic that through education, discrimination and stigma surrounding the virus would be eliminated. You can reach the HIV and AIDS Coordinating Unit at 285-9126. Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
Political leader of the United National Congress, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, says she will leave the party one day, but today is not the day. During the UNC's virtual report, she proclaimed that she has made the UNC the most diverse party ever, while Vasant Bharat could not even find, quote, one person looking like Jerlene John for his slate. TV6's Renessa Cutting reports.
The UNC has come a long way from its Canefield origins, thanks to the leadership of political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar, while at least that's her account.
In the last 10 years, I've done more than any other leader of any Indo-based party to diversify and make our party a national party. That's what I've done. And there's some in our party, they still have this mantra that they used in the years back. We've come too far to turn black now. You remember that? Do you all remember that? But we cannot win government If we remain rooted in the Indo-base, we must be a national party.
But she says her challenger for the post of political leader seems to have other values.
Out of 1.4 million people in this country, they could not find one looking like Sean Sobers. They could not find one looking like Gillinger. Not one. 17 positions. And you couldn't find one for diversity.
Even worse, the opposition leader suggests that Mr. Barrett does not even like his own race.
This man put out a whole big front page on the Sunday Newsday. That's yesterday, Sunday Newsday. Yes, he said, Vasant, UNC must resist a culture of Indian loyalty. What do you have against Indian, boy? What do you have against other people?
There's been a great deal of mudslinging on the platform in the lead-up to the UNC's December 6th internal elections. But the opposition leader says the other side is playing dirty.
They're calling constituents in Tawakit there and tell her, Kamala is not well, she's sick. Well, yes, I am sick. I'm sick and tired and fed up of these traitors and hypocrites in our party.
But the opposition leader says she's confident of victory. And she revealed she has been engaging in succession planning for the day when she does decide to step down.
That day is not today. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I will fight for you. I will not step aside. Sorry, fellas. You thought you'll have an easy passage and an easy pathway that I'll just sit down and cry. No, 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 no. Since that year, 2007, no woman, no cry. But sometimes I go home and cry a little bit, by the way. But in the public, when I have to fight for you and my party and for myself, I will fight, I will fight, I will fight.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Several entrepreneurs have volunteered their time to support young people in their quest to start their businesses. An 8-week entrepreneurial course at Nelson's Dockyard in Antigua ended this week. ABS's Jamie J. Rocher reports on the reactions of participants.
National Parks Commissioner Anne-Marie Martin is one of the volunteers.
I'm also Anne-Marie Martin, the social entrepreneur.
Martin says she started a mentoring program with 5 young women at the national parks. She says she invited successful business people and spiritual leaders to speak with her mentees, and this eventually evolved.
I remember Sunday, I was coming out of Veg International, and I saw Claude Weaver, the owner, and I said, "Can you please come and speak to my girls?" And then he said to me, "Better yet, get about 20 young persons, and we can start a course."
The young people are grateful.
The advice and the information that they give you from this program, it really, really helps going forward.
It was extremely beneficial coming here. And I would encourage anyone else thinking of opening their own business or expanding, or you may be feeling stuck, come to something like this, a workshop like this.
This experience has been so encouraging because it makes me believe that people believe in me. People believe in each and every one of us.
They share valuable takeaways from the event.
Like the little sayings, the faintest ink is better than the strongest memory. To be a leader, you have to be a reader.
Every time you get an idea, no matter how small or how big, write it down. Write it down and document it. It also teaches you about financial management, how to decrease your expenses, how to make profits, and so forth.
The presenters represent several fields, including real estate, marketing, and engineering. Course facilitator Jules Bowen says there are 4 tiers to business.
You have the accounting aspect, you have the legal aspect, you have the demand and supply aspect, and you have the marketing aspect.
He says you will be successful if you get these correct. But a major obstacle for many people is creating a business plan.
What we encourage persons to do is do as much as they can and seek help where possible.
And if you're out of ideas, the irony of the COVID-19 pandemic means opportunities are many.
In this COVID situation, and it's going to show us that we have to become inventive and innovative.
Another session of the entrepreneurial course is being planned. In the meantime, people have been encouraged to create businesses that provide solutions to growing problems.
Go for it. What are you waiting for? Just get up and go.
Jimmy J. Roche, ABS News.
Over in Guyana, Attorney General Anil Nandlal says that David Granger cannot be declared president if the court were to vitiate the 2020 general and regional elections, since everything would become a nullity. Wendell Badri of HGP Nightly News reports.
Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Anil Nandlal on Monday, during the case management hearing of the two election petitions filed by the APNU AFC, submitted that former President David Granger cannot be declared president should the court decide to vitiate the 2020 general and regional elections.
Clearly, Mr. Granger cannot be declared president from that list, from those elections. So that relief is a non sequitur as a matter of law.
Nandlal made those remarks in relation to the relief being sought by the petitioners, where they are asking that Granger be declared the president of the 2020 general and regional elections, and petitioning the court to declare that the elections were poorly administered by the Guyana Elections Commission, and it should therefore be vitiated.
If the court finds that elections have been vitiated by irregularity, by illegality, by unconstitutionality, then the entire election goes. As their relief says, it's null, void, and of no effect. Out of nothing cometh nothing.
Meanwhile, former Attorney General Basil Williams stated that Granger did not file the petitions, neither did he serve them on himself. He reasoned, therefore, that the issue of whether he is an applicable party to the hearing of the petitions lies in the jurisdiction of the court.
Mr. Granger did not file this petition. He received service of the petition when he was served on time and all that is what the court is dealing with now.
Williams continued.
Mr. Nandlal's contention that having done that, he must be implicitly or impliedly be taken to say that he is a proper party and all that. That's what the court has to determine now.
The two election petitions filed by the APNU AFC asked the court to determine that the 2020 general and regional elections were not properly conducted, and therefore the court should determine that the elections should be vitiated. It also asks the court to declare David Granger as president of Guyana. Wendell Badri, HGP Nightly News.
Senator Herman Gill Francis has his eyes set on contesting the Vieux-Fort South seat in St. Lucia. The constituency has been represented by Dr. Kenny Anthony for some 20 years. However, Francis, who has not had much experience at the polls, is confident of unseating the former Prime Minister. Joachim Duplessis of HTS News Force has this report.
Senator Herman Gill Francis has not had much success in elective politics in St. Lucia. However, he is confident that he can beat five-term Vieux-Fort South MP and former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony at the next elections. He is looking to secure the seat on a UWP ticket.
I'm very confident. As long as I win that runoff, I'm going to beat Dr. Kenny Anthony.
Before Francis can face Dr. Anthony at the polls, he must be victorious in the UWP runoff.
The process must take place. There are two of us in the race, myself and Mr. Bina Valmont. And on that note, I want to take this opportunity to wish her very well. I just got information that her husband passed away, and so my condolences go out to her. And whatever I can do and the group can do to assist her in her bereavement, we will do. But at the end of the day, it is the right for everybody to be able to vie for political office. And all we are asking for as a group is that we have a runoff.
Francis failed in his bid to secure the ancillary canneries candidacy for the United Workers' Party in a packed runoff field in April 2015. He was defeated in the internal party race by Dominic Fede, who would go on to win the seat at the June 6, 2016 general election. The former Deputy Police Commissioner was once a prospective Labour Party candidate. However, he and another Francis sibling, Peterson Francis, left the party fold to join the United Workers' Party in 2014, where they have risen to a national political prominence. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.